early eye, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does the star-spangled banner the brave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Please remain standing, for the invocation led by Reverend Eleodoro Lozano.
Good morning to everyone. I'm Eleodoro Lozano, father from this diocese, representing Bishop Tamayo. Today I come with great joy for this new source of work for our community. I'm very pleased to see so many people here today. God, from the creation of a human being, has given us the beautiful task of being responsible and an administrator of the creation. And today here, we are being obedient to these words that the Lord has given us on the book of Genesis. Now, I want to invoke the Holy Spirit to come and make presence over this place and over us. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Our help is in the name of the Lord, who made heaven and earth. The Lord be with you. Let us pray. Lord God Almighty, who never fails to bestow on men an abundance of heavenly gifts, as well as the rich fruits of the earth, we give thanks to you in your glory for the fruits that will be distributed in this place, and beg you again to bless the harvest which we have received from your bounty, to preserve it and to shield it from harm. Grant also that, having had our desire for earthly needs filled, we may bask under your protection, praise your kindness and mercy without ceasing, and make use of temporary goods in such a way as not to lose everlasting goods. To Christ our Lord. Thank you.
Thank you. You may be seated. And I kind of want to give a round of applause to the Martin High School Mariachi Band for that national anthem. Please help me welcome the Mission Produce CEO, Steve Bernard.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you for coming to this magnificent facility. Today I'm going to kind of walk through on how we got here. I mean, Mission's not that old. We were founded in 1983 with no money, so here we are in this big building wondering what we're doing next. But I'm going to give a little history of that. I'd like to first introduce our team down here, the Mission teams. Do at these tables that I'm not going to go by their names, but they helped make this happen, and they're going to make it happen in the future, I hope, too. We've got the governor coming, we've got the mayor right here, and gave him a great tour this morning, and I think we have a great future ahead here in the city of Laredo. I do have to say that dealing with the city of Laredo compared to California is like going on vacation. It was easy. They have a tendency out there to just tell us what we can't do, and it's kind of frustrating, but it was a joy to work here, and hopefully we get a chance to do it again. I'm not sure what else we're going to need, but it was a pleasant experience, which that's easy to come by out there. I'd like to introduce our board of directors. We've got two directors here, our chairman of the board, Mr. Steve Burchad, and who flew in from New Mexico, and Jay Pack, who is a local Texan and out of Dallas. So thanks, Jay and Steve, for coming. A couple other special guests. We built this facility after several years of doing business here in Laredo. I think we started about 1985. We first started shipping out of Mexico, but Laredo Peña and Laredo Peña have been helping us all along, and we want to thank you for what you've done for us. This is a result of it. Unfortunately, we've outgrown your facility, but it's a nice problem, but they will continue to work with us on lots of things. So I want to thank you personally for helping us get to where we are today. Thank you for being here. I'd like to thank the AM King team and Brian King. Where's Brian out here? He's there he is over there. They built this facility. It was so professional and well done. Someone said, weren't you concerned about what happened out there? And I said, no, I get a report every month, shows the budget, shows pictures of what they're doing. If they have an issue, they identify it ahead of time. And I had the lucky experience of my wife building a house at the same time this was being built. And the differences are rather large. Brian was on budget and on time, and my wife's house was not on time and was only over budget by a zero. That's times 10, by the way. But anyway, it's all worked out, and I want to thank Brian and his team. They've done a great job, and there's a lot of them here today. So wherever you are out there, we appreciate the work you did. One of the things I want to do today is kind of give a background on Mission, who we are, where we started, and how we got to this. I mean, it's an interesting story. It was a simple story. We just kind of followed the demand. But we started Mission in 1983. I went to college and got a degree in ag up at Cal Poly, San Luis Obispo. My dad was a citrus farmer. Place wasn't big enough for both of us. He said, go do something else. So every summer I tried to do something different in agriculture because I didn't know what I wanted to do. And at the end of the college, I hadn't done anything in fresh produce. So I got a job with a local company there in Oxnard that was mainly vegetables, and I ended up doing a training program and running lettuce crews for 7 years. And that's back when all the strikes were going on, and it was kind of an interesting time. But heck, I was 22 years old. I loved trouble, so it was kind of fun. But this company got into the avocado business in 1978, and they hired a guy out of retirement to kind of run it because it was they got into it for the wrong reason. They had an empty building there. They bought a little sizer and hired a guy to go get some avocados. And at the time, it was all California back then. Calavo was the co-op. Prior to now, they're a public company, but they had 80% market share, so they figured there's a pretty good target there, being number one a co-op and being number two 80% market share. So they got started, and it went on for about 4 years, but they weren't committed to it. It was a sideline. Again, they got into it for the wrong reason. Well, fast forward to 19 80, that guy re-retired, and they asked me if I would come over and run that division for him. And it wasn't a big deal. I mean, you could fit the whole deal in half of this room right here. I ran it for a year, and I went back to the three owners, and I said, you know, this avocado deal's got a lot of room ahead of it. There's a long runway. I see opportunity here, but I'd like to give you a business proposal where we break that off as a separate business unit. I'm going to run it, and I'm going to own part of it. I'm not looking for anything for free, but the way you're doing it right now, you're not going anywhere. And they said, no. I said, well, I'm serious. And they said, so are we. And I went, oh, I don't have any money. And I just gotten married, and I don't know, it was interesting times. But me and another guy named Ed Williams, who's passed away now, but he and I went out and put a prospectus together and raised $900,000 in the spring of '83. Ronald Reagan had just become president. Things were turning around a little bit, and we got started in California. We rented a building, bought a small sizer, actually smaller than what we have here in this repack room. Leased a couple trucks, rented an office trailer, and got started on a shoestring. And that's when we started, June 1st of '83. Well, fast forward, we thought if we're going to compete in this deal, we better bring something to the table that the other guys don't have. So we focused on export, primarily into Japan. And one of our main customers was Dole Japan, and they wouldn't buy from us year-round. They would buy from us just at the end of the season. So after the first year, we said, we better get that business all year-round so we can compete year-round. So we flew to Hong Kong and met a guy named Lou Alexander in the 27th floor of a big high-rise in Hong Kong, and went in there and told him, look, we want your business year-round. Now, this is Dole Asia, owned by Dole US, big company. And here we are on a shoestring. But we convinced him that we wanted that business year-round. He said, okay, on one condition, don't ever let me run out. Not a problem. We walked downstairs, oh my God, what do we do now? Because we were just California, and they didn't have crop year-round. So we ended up in Mexico. 1985, we started looking in 1984, and opened the office, Mission Day, Mexico, in 1985, specifically for export markets to Asia and some to Europe, too. So that got started, and our manager today, who was there shortly after, Fernando Garcia, sitting right here. Thank you, Fernando, and your team for all you've done. We're not done. You got to fill this up now. And so anyway, that put us in Mexico. And fast forward, we had a team, we had a company, we paid taxes, we knew the grower base. And so when the border opened up in 1997 for product to the U.S., we were already established. We got a running start, and we were the largest then, and we're still the largest today because we play offense all the time. We don't rest on our laurels. We don't look backwards. And fast forward again. So that was 97. So now we had product, past product year-round, and the consumption started to grow. We got rid of the green skins, which weren't really that desirable to eat. I always make a joke that the Donner Party wouldn't even eat them, but we got rid of those. We use them for pollinators now, but it started the avocado revolution. The border opened up. Now you had Hass avocados available year-round. Well, fast forward to 1999. We started experimenting with a modified atmosphere box. It's kind of like a bag salad where it limits the respiration. And we found out that we could hold that product for extended periods of time, either hard, or in some cases we left it out there, put it in there ripe. You know, I said, we need to see if this ripe thing will work. So I started watching. My kids used to accuse me that I was going to get arrested because I'd go to a store and watch human behavior. Watch as the avocado supplies, people would walk up and feel the avocados, and if they'd walk off, I'd ask them why they didn't buy anything. They said, well, I couldn't find a ripe one. 100% of the time that they walked off, they said they couldn't find a ripe one. Well, this isn't rocket science. Let's give them a ripe one. So we did a test over at a Ralph's grocery store in Oxnard. I went over and talked to the guy. I said, I'd like to do an avocado test on ripes. He says, ripes? Oh, no, they'll go bad. I'll lose everything. He said, no, I don't, you don't understand. I'm going to give them to you, and if you can sell any of them, you keep the money, and if you don't sell them, I'll come and get them. Okay. I took 10 boxes over there on a Friday and put them right next to the hard ones. I'll be back Monday. Well, I came back Monday, and there were oranges there. I said, what the hell happened? I sold out by noon on Saturday, and these are still here. Okay, game on. So we got Ralph's grocery store in Los Angeles to go 100% ripe for a year. They guaranteed us a year. Their sales went up 300%. So Ralph's is owned by Kroger. So I called the guy at Kroger who was a friend of mine, Reggie Griffin. And I said, you see those numbers at Ralph's? He says, I did. Let's keep this simple. You build them, I'll fill them. So we went national immediately. Now, sales were not going up 300% everywhere, but they were going up 300% on the coast and 200% in the Midwest. So I gave about 6 months, then I went to Walmart. I said, you see what Kroger's doing? Well, then they won on it. So now we got a problem. We don't have enough fruit. So we had to start thinking ahead on where we're going to get more fruit. So we're buying, we buy from a lot of competitors and bring product in. And an opportunity came up in Peru. Peru, where the hell's that? 4,000 miles that way. I went down to Peru, and that product comes off at the same time. There was one trial there. Matter of fact, he's a partner of ours, and he was supposed to be here today that we ended up buying out. But he had 900 hectare test plot. Test plot. I said, this is the largest avocado farm in the world, and it's a test plot? He says, yeah. I said, when does it come off? He says, oh, in May, June, July, August. Well, that's the same time as California. California and Mexico peak at opposite times of year, which that's a good thing. So Peru kind of overlapped California, and we started doing business down there, mainly for export business, but then we got the Peruvian allowed into the U.S. And this whole revolution is just, one thing happened and then another thing happened, and we just took advantage of it. In some places we created it, but we took advantage of it, and we're still taking advantage of it and trying to create, they said, how'd you predict the future? I said, we didn't, we created it. So far, so good. I don't know what's around the corner, but we're going to get there in a hurry. So anyway, ripes increased demand. Now we're doing it in Europe and Asia. We've got a ripe center in Asia and in China. We're adding a second one now. We've got one in Europe, and we're looking at a couple more over there over the next few years. But we have to be vertically integrated because the pull-through is so great, and that's why we have this facility. On a busy week for Super Bowl now, you're probably talking 300-plus loads in 5 or 6 days through here that you got to distribute and ripen. And I think that will continue to go up. Avocado consumption today is about 8.5 pounds. When we started on this ripes, it was about 2. So you compare that to Mexico, that's about 15, 16. We still have a long runway. And then you look at Asia and you look at Europe. They're at 2 still, because they're still in the infancy stage of where we were when we started this revolution. So we're going to try to help them expand that revolution. We are continuing to grow in Colombia, Guatemala. We've got an operation in South Africa now to help supply Europe certain times a year, and we've got our eyes on that the Indian market too. There's some potential there, so that would be logistics-wise a lot easier. There's just a lot of positive things happening in this category, in this space, and not only is the category growing, we can share facilities like this, which are fun to see and watch the energy of the team, and everyone's proud of what they've done here. Today we operate in 9 countries and 7 states, and sales cover 25 countries. This particular facility, keep in mind that like I said, 73% of the consumption in the U.S. comes through from Mexico, so the importance of this facility is critical. That percentage might not change, but the volume will, because the overall number is going to keep going up, as I said. So This facility gives us a lot of flexibility. We can bring product in here, we can bag it, we can ripen it, we can use it to backfill the other facilities, the 9 of them that we have in North America today, North America including Canada. So it'll minimize what we have to do there, and we can do it here and get it there just in time. So it's something we're very proud of. We will continue to grow into it, but seeing what they've got out there today, I think we're growing into it pretty quickly. This is the largest network, or the largest building in our network. We do have a building larger than this in Peru. It's 300,000 square feet, but it's a packing house and short-term storage. But they can pack 3 million pounds a day there, just to give you the scope of that. And we grow that much down there. We've got, we did over 100 million pounds off of our own farm down there, and that'll go to probably 200 in the next 5-6 years. So we're relevant in that space. We've got the globe covered on distribution, and we came to play. And this is an integral part of what we're doing and how we're going forward. So I will now introduce the mayor. We gave him a tour this morning, great guy. And before he gets up here, I just want to say, I said a little bit of it. The staff, your staff at the City of Laredo has been awesome. We're just not used to it, but we welcome it, and thank you very much. So,
thank you very much, Steve, and good morning. Welcome. And obviously, it's a momentous big day for the City of Laredo, and I want to thank you for joining us today. I would like to start off welcoming, of course, Steve. This is basically, we're in his house here. He should be welcoming us, but he did. And of course, we'll be having our governor as well in a few moments. And obviously, that's a great honor to have our governor as well here. And of course, we're here to celebrate a magnificent milestone for our community. I want to also formally welcome all your staff and the people, your team, Steve, for the great work. And of course, following your vision of establishing, even growing more your business here in Laredo. You did have a presence here in our city, but you decided to stay, to grow, because you see your vision coincides with our vision, and that's how can we help, and I think you mentioned that too. And at this point, I would like to introduce our team, beginning with Mr. Robert Eads, our city manager. Robert. Yeah, this is the man in charge, and this is the man that takes care of the staff, and he makes sure that whatever companies like you and others need, that they're well served and well attended to. Thank you, Robert. We also here with us the Honorable Ruben Gutierrez Jr. He's a district council member for District 5. We have the Honorable Vanessa Perez from District 7. Welcome. Also with us here, we have Alberto A. Flores. He's the U.S. Customs and Border Protection Port Director. Albert, welcome. Thank you. And we also here, accompanying him is Armando Toboada. He's the Assistant Director for Field Operations and Trade. Armando, welcome. And with us, the Ambassador of Mexico here, General Consul, also known as General Consul Juan Carlos Mendoza. He's a Mexican Consulate General in Laredo. I call him Mr. Ambassador. Also a very integral part of our team is a man that was really in the midst of all of this and really kind of made it happen. We have Teclo Garcia, who is the Economic Development Director for us here in the City of Laredo. Teclo. Also, we have Adriana Cruz. She's the Economic Development for Tourism for the state of Texas. Welcome. And we have Lupita Cepeda, the LCC Board of Trustees Director. Lupita, thank you so much. we may have some other dignitaries maybe that walked in, but I haven't seen you all. Please excuse me if I didn't call your name, but I know all of you all are so important to us. And of course, we have industry members here too, and they also create these supply chains, and we all contribute to this network of services that you also employ too, Steve, and make our city vibrant and growing ever so much. Again, our motto is how can we help? Our city is vibrant, growing higher and higher every day, thanks to companies like Mission Produce that believe in our city and believe in our future. Where the trading sector, without a doubt, will continue to increase as billions of dollars worth in trade are invested and come through Laredo ports. Port Laredo's trade value through July of this year was $141 billion, up 31%, more than last year, and on a pace to break Laredo's all-time trade record set in 2018, averaging about 16,000 trucks daily. Amazing. Laredo is also a major player in the produce and cold storage space, as you can tell here. And we credit Mission Produce for leading the charge and driving our economy, the economy here locally and also for the state of Texas, bringing the industry top suppliers to the region. With Mission Produce and other investments that we've had in the last 18 months, Laredo has received a total investment of about $120 million in the creation of more than 450 produce and cold storage jobs here locally. Thank you. Firms from California, from Canada, Mexico have announced new investments in Laredo, with several others in the works, and the trend continues. That's put Laredo on the map as a major player in the industry. These are exciting times, without a doubt, ladies and gentlemen, as we move closer to being the top port for produce and cold storage industry. Teclo Garcia and his staff tells me that we're just shy of $2 to $3 million from becoming the top most port, high-ranking port in the produce and cold storage area. The Valley is our competitor and our friend, our colleague as well. But of course, competition, as Steve has mentioned, is always interesting and it's always good. So that's our target. We got to be number one also in the produce and cold storage business. Thank you. Furthermore, we have been working on the International Bridge Master Plan for our city, for the county, which includes the construction of the 4-5 bridge in South Laredo. The county is for it. The city of Laredo is for it. Mexico and the Federación is for it. The state of Tamaulipas is for it. The state of Texas is for it. We're all for it. It's coming, and we're there to make it happen. And also, we have great plans for the expansion of the World Trade Bridge. We're expanding that bridge simply because we need to continue as a competitive port, efficient port. We need fluidity. We need trucks moving through our port system and out into markets away from Laredo and also within our city. And this will include adding 8 additional lanes for a total of 16 lanes at the World Trade Bridge. In my understanding, too, we're planning 16 lanes at the 4-5 bridge at the south location in South Laredo and Webb County. This will ease congestion, obviously, expedite travel times, and continue to support our local economies. And of course, our city, us, our team, our partners, we're here to grow our city, to provide jobs for our people, for our better livelihoods for everyone. We're pleased to work with excellent partners like Mission Produce that provide good paying, high quality jobs while shoring up the tax base for our city of Laredo. It is indeed an honor, it is indeed a pleasure to be in the presence of this gentleman here, Steve Bernard. Such a The American dream came true, but for me, I think it's beyond that. I think it's the American dream and the international dream based on your topic that you just covered, Steve. The fact that you're working with multiple countries, to make your dream come true. And of course, we salute you for that. I believe you'll be introducing our next speaker, which would be our governor, I believe, if we're ready. Thank you. Again, thank you very much. And please now turn the mic over to Steve Bernard.
So if everyone's in charge of that bridge, why don't we just have an opening while we're all here and get it done?
All right.
I like to move quick.
Okay, we are very fortunate today to have Governor Abbott with us. I wasn't originally going to introduce him, so I don't have a script, but the fact that he kind of enhances what we've talked about, what we've seen here in Laredo as far as can-do attitudes. He's welcome here anytime because I know he stands for the same thing in the state of Texas. Again, we're from California. We're not used to this hospitality. So with that, I would welcome out Governor Abbott.
Thank you very much. What a great day to be in Laredo, isn't it? Wonderful facility. Yeah. Let's give them a big hand. First, I'd like to congratulate Stephen Bernard, CEO of Mission Produce, on this magnificent facility. This is great, big news, but it's really great news for Laredo. What a facility that opens up here to service and support our infrastructure and our trade community under USMCA. Laredo, the largest land port in America, welcomes this new facility. We've achieved this level of success because Laredo has a dynamic trade community with rich resources and talent and physical assets to support and grow trade for Texas and North America. This new mission facility is the best example of a great new asset for Port Laredo. In Texas, thanks to the leadership of Governor Greg Abbott, we have maintained a pro-growth, pro-business, pro-trade climate that has solidified our status as the best state to do business, yes, the best trade state. For 9 years in a row, Texas has won the Governor's Cup for the best business state. That doesn't happen by accident. It takes leadership to keep taxes low and burdensome regulations and to let everyone know that Texas is open for business, and that is exactly what Governor Abbott has done. Governor, as you know well, 40% of all Mexican exports to the United States travel through the Port of Laredo. With the USMCA trade agreement and as our role in the center point of the North American supply chain, we will only continue to grow and keep Texas the premier trade state in America. To keep our economy on fast track, we are working with leaders at TxDOT and the Texas Secretary of State to implement the Texas-Mexican Transportation Master Plan, which we will hope soon include Bridge 45 in southeast Laredo and northeast Nuevo Laredo to make sure we grow trade efficiently and keep Texas #1. But with growth comes responsibilities. Our region needs transportation funding to keep Texas' trade economy rolling. You have charged the state, Governor, Transportation Commission with reducing congestion. We ask that you target this region as a focal point in achieving that goal because if Port Laredo doesn't work, Texas and the nation doesn't work. Governor, Governor, you have seen what we produce in Laredo. You have witnessed the power of the economic generator that Laredo has become. Now is the time to leverage our resources to keep Laredo as a lifeline to our economy, our state economy. We need to make sure that companies like Mission will prosper in Texas, but we need your help to keep Port Laredo #1. And we need your help to open up our international bridges to so-called non-essential transit. Without legal visitors, our small business owners are dying. So on behalf of all Laredoans, we thank you for your focus on building a strong business climate. We thank you for your steadfast support for our major highway network to keep Texas moving. And we thank you for being here today to honor an outstanding job creator in Mission Produce. Ladies and gentlemen, the governor of the great state of Texas, the Honorable Greg Abbott.
Well, thank you for the very warm welcome, and Dennis, thank you for the very kind words of introduction. I do want to follow up a little bit on some things that Dennis said. First, I have the opportunity to work in communities across the entire state of Texas, and as Dennis alluded to, Texas is the premier state of the United States for economic development. That said, I haven't been in any community in the state of Texas where there is such a profound visionary leader for economic development as what you all have in Dennis Nixon. He does a fabulous job for Laredo, for Webb County, for this entire region. I've known Dennis for about 20 years, and every time that I visit with him, he's talking about what the future of Laredo and Webb County, this entire region, looks like. And what we've been able to see is the fruition of the tremendous vision that he's talking about. And we just had a meeting earlier today where we did talk about the future vision, about opening up ports even more, opening up roads even more so that you can expand your exporting and importing capabilities even more, elevating Laredo even higher. And what I see for the future of Laredo is nothing but a very bright future. Also proud to be here with Steve Bernard, the CEO of Mission Produce, and this is outstanding what you are doing. And then I see Mayor Sines, and listen, Mayor, and I saw earlier Judge Tiarina, and I'm looking here for him right now, and I'm not seeing him. There he is, way in the back. Judge, it was good to meet with you and Mayor Sines earlier, but listen, I want to comment about a couple of things about for both of you all, your leadership during challenging times of COVID, getting Laredo and Webb County through it. The numbers are all going down. The COVID situation is improving in Laredo. That's good for the people of this community. It's also going to be great for the economy in this region. Thank you both for your leadership. I saw that Mayor Sines said yesterday that the reason why the governor is going to be here today is because it highlights the importance of Laredo for the state of Texas. And he was exactly right. Laredo has always been important. However, I would say today, Laredo is more important than ever to the future of our great state. And so I did want to be here to recognize what is happening with Mission Produce, but I also wanted to be here to emphasize the essential important role that Laredo does play in the present and in the future for the Lone Star State. Now, we are here obviously to celebrate the ribbon cutting of this massive and impressive facility. And I know that there's been so many people who've been involved in this process to get us to this point. It includes the city council members as well as the Laredo Economic Development Team. I do also want to take a moment to recognize people who I do not see that may not be here. Candidly, they better be in Austin, Texas in special session doing the work they're supposed to be doing. And that is, I will recognize Senator Zaffarini and Representative Richard Raymond and Tracy King. Are they here by any chance? They're not here, which means they are in Austin in the special session doing what they need to be doing. Thank them for working to hammer out even more in that special session. I will let you know, as you know, there's a lot of different things that they're working on in the special session. One thing that is very important to Laredo, to Webb County, to every region in the state of Texas, is they are looking for the right strategies to use to allocate about $16 billion in funding that was provided by the federal government through the American Rescue Plan. So they need to be going to work every single day during this special session, working tirelessly to make sure that Laredo and Webb County gets its share of the effective use of that funding to put you on an even stronger, better pathway going forward. Also want to thank one of my appointees, Anna Galo. Anna, you with us? Anna is not here. Anna is one of my appointees to the Texas Parks and Wildlife. We appreciate her service there. Well, let me just start out with the main point I wanted to make. And it's a saying that we all use here in the great state of Texas, but once again, it resurfaces itself. And that is, everything is bigger in Texas, including the distribution of avocados. I am proud of Mission Produce for being a world leader in the sourcing, producing, and shipping of avocados just like this across the entire world. Very, very proud of what you're doing. You know, so it's amazing what a pandemic will do, because I think one unforeseen aspect of a pandemic was to see the price rise in an avocado. It shows how valuable avocados are to the people in the United States of America. But listen, we're proud of what you've done to establish this fabulous facility. But I want you to know we are even prouder that you have expanded your operation right here in Laredo, Texas. Now, one thing that I know from having been involved in so many economic development projects like this, they don't just happen overnight. They're the result of months and even years of hard work to cultivate businesses. And I know that's exactly what the economic development team, as well as the city and the county, have done in cultivating businesses like Mission Produce to help them understand that this is the right place at the right time for a project like this. And I just want to take a moment to thank everybody in this room who has been involved in this project, and thank you for your tremendous work to make today possible. And I do want to emphasize that projects like this are so important to spur the Texas economy, to create new jobs, and to expand Laredo's footprint as an international port. This project and the entire Laredo community are part of the great Texas economic success story. Texas is the #1 state in the United States of America for exports, and we've been #1 in exports for 19 years in a row. We would not be in that position of that #1 ranking if it were not for the tremendous port facility that you have right here at Port Laredo that contributes to Texas being ranked #1. Texas also has been ranked the #1 state in the United States for doing business for 16 years in a row. And as Dennis made reference, every year that I've been governor, Texas has received the Governor's Cup. The Governor's Cup goes to the state that ranks #1 in the United States for the most new and expanded corporate facilities just like this. It's projects just like this that has made Texas #1 for economic development. Thank you all for contributing to that success, which probably will mean that Texas will be #1 next year for this year's contributions of economic development. Now, one reason why Texas does rank as #1 for economic development is because we have the best economic development leader leading the governor's office for economic development. It's the best in the United States of America. And she happens to be from Laredo, Texas. Her name is Adriana Cruz, right here, a native of Laredo, leading Texas economic development. I want you to know that as a state, our commitment to businesses like Mission Produce is that we will continue to create an environment that wants them to come here and grow here and expand here. And that means keeping taxes low, keeping regulations reasonable and predictable, supporting right-to-work laws, and developing a superior workforce for our employers. Along those lines, do we have Julian Alvarez with us here today? Right here. For those who don't know, Julian serves on the Texas Workforce Commission, and he is one of those people who helps Texas advance what employers tell me every single day, and that is Texas has the best workforce in the United States of America. Thank you for your contribution to that success. So with business-friendly policies in place, and with great businesses like Mission Produce investing in our great state, we will keep Texas the #1 state in the United States for doing business. So as we cut the ribbon to officially open this facility, I congratulate Mission Produce and all who made this day possible for all of the people of Laredo, Texas. Thank you all, God bless you all, and God bless the great state of Texas.
Yeah, I think someone's supposed to bring a ribbon.
All right.
Here we go.
shattered windows and the sound